here we are at Game Land 322 again, except it's been like 3 months or so. It is December 13th. It's a crisp 26 degrees Fahrenheit out this morning. Feels like 19. And I'm gonna look at some trees. I just saw a blue jay over these bare oaks that I'm gonna look at. So like I was saying, these are all these like shrubby-esque trees are all bare oak trees. And honestly, I know that because I walk here a lot in the other months of the year when there's actual leaves on the trees. But you can still see some of the leaves on them and on the ground. I'm trying to find like a good bare oak leaf kind of example. This is kind of a good example. They are usually kind of pointy, but they're not like nearly as deep or as lobed as some other oaks. And then the backs are usually like white with like these little hairs on them. So like the front, when they're green, are kind of more of a dark green, glossy kind of, and the backs are like white. And then in the fall, they kind of become more of a reddish color, and then obviously now that it's still technically fall, but the leaves are gone, they're just brown. Not super exciting, but in general the trees are more like shrub-like, so they're gonna be like maybe 10 to 20 feet tall. They don't live very long either. They definitely like having like no shade. They're very shade intolerant. They like kind of, so they do like kind of these sorts of areas like underneath power lines, for example, where there's no trees, or like after maybe a fire, like a prescribed burn or something, they might crop up in sort of like early successional environments where there's not much shade. So you can see kind of the remnants of their acorns. Some of them, I guess the actual acorn bit fell out, but like the shell around it didn't, which is kind of interesting. And then some of their buds. That's kind of what their bud look like. It's kind of hairy. Honestly, it looks a little bit hairy, but it's kind of less pronounced now. I was seeing like on a lot of different trees, not just the oak tree, these bare oak trees, these like marks on them, like these fissures, and I tried looking up why they were there, and apparently it's from like, could be from like cicadas. And we had a lot of cicadas that came out this summer, so maybe that's why those were there. I was seeing a lot of blue jays out in this like bushy habitat. Is great for like any sort of like, the birds love it. There's probably like, you'll probably see like maybe woodcocks or something that like having these like, I don't know, areas they can kind of hide in. Yes, this is our beautiful bare oak. In some parts of the US they are threatened or endangered. I believe in Vermont bare oaks are endangered, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure about Pennsylvania though. Obviously there's a lot of them here, so also seeing these weird growth. Once again, I think these are galls on some of these bare oaks, but they're definitely a different type, making this one like twig stem thing just like so disfigured. So interesting, because some of the oaks don't have any galls on them and some just have a bunch. So here I spotted an invasive that I see a lot. It's all over, like you can see it. I'm getting distracted, but you can see the vine. It's It's a perennial vine. This, I don't even know what tree this is. Maybe some sort of locust that has thorns on it. But it's just choking out this poor tree. But yes, it's a vine, so that's one way to kind of identify it. But this time of year, especially a little bit earlier in the fall, the best way I ID it is based off the berries that are very distinctive, that are these bright red berries. And then earlier in the fall, they'll have these like yellow, I don't know what you call them, like little skin around them that will open up and make a very distinctive looking berry. But that's the way I am able to identify this, which I don't even know if I said the name, but it's Oriental Bittersweet. And then in summer it has leaves, of course, that are kind of round. They're not very distinctive. They're just like toothed on the edge and round / oblong. And they do have flowers as well, which I'll put a picture of over here. That's probably another invasive. This might be Japanese barberry or something like that. I believe this is the American hornbeam, aka musclewood. It's called musclewood because like the bark kind of looks muscly in a way. I think is why it's called musclewood. Also, I think the actual wood is extremely like hard. But it also doesn't grow that big. It's an understory tree, so it doesn't get very tall, but it does kind of get kind of wide. Still got some leaves, and it's got a toothed edge to it. And they're usually in these like little bundles that are more obvious at times of the year at the end of their stems. Not very obvious, like, I don't know if this has been grazed on by something, but the buds aren't super obvious to me, at least on this one. It has like, maybe this is kind of a remnant of it, but it has like these like seed pods that kind of hang down in the fall that are also very distinctive. I'm 95% sure this is a musclewood. So the last thing I'm gonna look at, a lot of cars going by this morning is, unless I see something on the way home, is this. It's the Winged Euonymus, or the burning bush. It's another invasive, very popular landscape tree, bush, I don't know what you'd call it. And it's very easy to identify, like really any time of the year, because of these wings on the stem. So the stem's actually kind of like usually greenish, and then they have like these brown wing looking things, hence the name Winged Euonymus. I never really know how to say it. But also this time of the year, it's got like little red fruit as well. I don't know if this one, I know like, I don't know if this is banned from being planted now or not, but some invasives are. It's also very tolerant of shade. It's always easy for me to identify because of just how distinctive its stems are. So that is going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Sorry I didn't look at too many different plants, but it's a little chilly out this morning, and I've already been out here for over 2 hours, so yeah, I'm just gonna walk back now, and hope you enjoyed the video.